Well, you discover your purpose. Make sure that your vision will be in line with your purpose in most cases. Now, purpose is important, and purpose is really what kind of sticks your vision in your mind and what keeps it at the front. And because it's not an effort. It's not difficult to keep our mind on something that we want. Right? If we have to force ourselves to think about it, have to force ourselves to focus on it, if meditating is just, if visualizing is such a chore, then you're not, in my opinion, for me, my experience was, if it's a chore, then you're not looking at what you really want for life. You're not looking at what you really want to get. You're looking at something else. A lot of times we'll say, well, why do I want to get rich? Well, and you envision yourself having lots of money. See yourself having lots of money to do good with, and that's a great outline. But that doesn't get you rich. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with the money? How are you going to change? How are you going to impact yourself, your community, your world? How are you going to have that impact? How are you going to change things? How are you going to do it? How are you going to what's it going to do? That's really what the purpose is all about. Now, it's really your why. Why am I doing this? Why? And Tony Robbins talks about our whys, and he talks about shoulds and whys. And he says, I'm going to borrow from him a little bit, but he says, your why has to be important. Your why has to grab you. It has to captivate you. It can't be a should. Oh, I should lose weight. I should be healthier. Why is that? Oh, just because I just should. And Tony Robbins says, well, you end up shooting all over yourself. I don't know if you guys heard that before, but so yeah, you should all over yourself. So why? It has to be a must. It has to be a must. I have to have this. It has to be this way. My life has to look like this. It has to. There's no choice. It must be. And whenever it must be, it's a must, then everything comes in line. Your purpose is revealed to you, or you discover it, or maybe you've already done that. And things just having your purpose, it fast forwards things. It puts life in fast forward. I know it did for me. I discovered my purpose about 6 or 8 months ago, and that is living an experience of freedom and guiding to it all others who desire the same. Living an experience of freedom and guiding to it all others who desire the same. I discovered that was my purpose. I've done all kinds of purpose exercises, and if you've been here for a while, then you've probably done them too. John Waterhouse does a lot of those. And I worked at it for years, man, and finally I just discovered it. And man, when I discovered that, I got another job offered, another job, and doing exactly what I wanted to do, and all just worked out. And now I'm part of a multi-billion-dollar organization that does global humanitarian projects. I was a mortgage broker before, and there's nothing wrong with that. It just wasn't in alignment with what I wanted to do. And so purpose is so key, so important that we discover our purpose. Now the next part of the equation, so we talked about vision, purpose, and faith. Now faith is a real big thing, man. That's the key. That's the kind of the glue that holds it all together. Because I'm telling you, you may go, if you're on this path, I know I have. I've gone through times that I have my vision, and I have my starting point, I have my vision, and I have where I am now, somewhere in this middle part here. And where I was, what didn't look like my vision at all. It looked like something completely different. And so having faith in that period is key. You fill in the gaps with faith. You can fill in the gaps with fear. You can fill in the gaps with faith. So you fill it in with faith. Waddell says in chapter 8, the person who can sincerely thank God for the things which he owns only in his imagination has real faith. That person will get rich. That person will cause the creation of whatsoever he or she wants. So we're talking about faith with gratitude. Whole faith. So being grateful for what you want as if you already have it right here and now. Feeling it, knowing it in your vision. Power that vision with gratitude. With knowing that it's already here. It's not that you are you're going to be rich. You're going to have the money. It's happening. It's not going to happen. It's happening now. It is happening right now in this moment. So that's very important to remember. He says, Ernest Holmes says, to desert the truth in your hour of need only proves that you didn't know the truth. I'm sure you guys have probably heard that one before. So that's really what it is. It's all about faith. It's about having that deep gratitude, that deep faith that it's happening right now, and you can feel it happening all around you. The next question I asked myself was, what is the science of getting rich really about? What's it really about? Well, it's about getting rich. It's about getting rich, man. I mean, it's about getting rich. Now, I'm going to break some news to you guys. Everyone in this room is already rich. Everyone's already rich. You're already rich. Everyone here has more already than most of the world, most of the other people in the world. The people in this room are rich. You're very, very rich. But we're talking about getting just real rich, just stinking, filthy rich, just rich, man. You know, so close your eyes for a second, if you would. I want to invite you to close your eyes. Imagine yourself walking around in downtown Asheville, and you walk into any restaurant there, and you walk in the door, and you pick out a couple that are having lunch or dinner, having a meal, and you just walk up to them, and you lay a $100 bill down on the table, and you smile, and then you walk away. Now, how does that feel? That's the kind of rich I'm talking about. I'm talking about being so wealthy, you can just walk in and just give money, give it away. When these guys, a person comes up to you, a homeless person or whatever, those guys that come up and ask for money, they're expecting to get $1 or $5. You give them a $100 bill because you don't care, because it's that much money, because you are giving an impression of increase. You are growing, and you are in the flow. It's coming in. It's pouring into your life from every direction. Increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. Getting rich, being rich. And what does that do? What's it about? It's about growth. We've already talked about that. You're talking about bringing value to yourself and others, tasting life, enjoying life, playing, and being free. Now, all of these things bring value to your life as growing. It's about growing. But that really all these things beg the question: why am I here? Now, it goes back to our purpose. Why are we here? What are we here? What are we doing? Life's a gift. We're here playing. We're here to play. We're here to play around and enjoy ourselves. And having lots of money makes that easier. With the way our society is currently structured, having tons and tons of money makes it easier to play. Now, one day, maybe we won't need money anymore. But right now, we're using it. So have a lot of it. And this is the way. It's 60, 80 pages long. That's the way. This is the way to do it. But the focus is growth. The focus is an impression of increase. The focus is giving more. It's giving. It's growing. When we stood up as human beings long time ago and said, "I am," that was the moment we had conscious awareness. That was the moment that we raised up out of the animal plane and became human beings and started walking and thinking. We began to think. Now the next step, which was however long after that, we asked the question, why? We asked the question, why am I? So we said I am, then we asked the question, why am I? And when we asked that question, why am I, that's when we started to grow. And we've grown lots and lots since then as a human race. And I want to invite you to grow yourself as a human being, as an individual. Grow yourself by asking, why am I? Why am I here? What am I doing? Ask yourself questions and get the answers. The answers are already there. So you find out what you're doing here, and that's your purpose, and that just puts you on the right path. Growth. I keep going back to growth, but the reason that I do that is because that's really a big point of what this book is about. It's about growth. And why must we grow? We must grow, of course. So why must we grow? If a plant doesn't grow, what happens? It dies, exactly. So, of course we must grow. Human beings are the same way. Now, we can float along, and we're growing at a very slow pace. If we're just floating along through life, and we We grow a little bit here. We learn some lessons here and learn some lessons there. I want what I like doing. I'm a growth junkie. I like to just get in and just jump in with both feet and just grow and just find out and learn and be and just be bigger and fill my space and give an impression of increase and advance through the increase. Give an impression of increase. That means that anytime you make a business deal, anytime I make a business deal, I give more in use value than the person gave me in money value. Even if it's, Waddle says, even if you're selling a stick of candy to a child, give it to, do so with the impression of increase. It's about growing. It's about increase. It's about advancing. And as you give the impression of increase in every transaction, business, but also personal. If you're talking to someone, talk about yourself or let them talk about them or ask them questions, and grow with that and talk about positive things that make you feel like you're expanding. Not the naysayers and the gloom givers and just all of the, skip all that stuff and just go straight to what works, what feels good, what's working in my life. That's advancement, that's growth, and that is the impression of increase. Now, the next question I asked myself was, what if this science of getting rich doesn't appear to work? What if it appears to not be working? And I've certainly had that experience on this path.